We're backstage, and the guys created a real-life invert button. So they made these samples, and as you can see, they sprinkled brighter color onto the darker projection color. So this is the original projection color, and you can see how it's actually building this hotspot already. Like you see it here. It depends on the angle. Let me move the camera towards the. You see, that's the hotspot. And now watch this. See how those dots become less bright? That's because the reflectivity of the color is so high, and the reflectivity of those is not. So to put it in terms of blender, metallic is high on this color and very low on the dots. And this is why this happens. While the guys are mapping, let me acknowledge how different this color looks if it's differently applied. So this is rolled on and then sprinkled with spray. And well, it's obviously a completely different surface with completely different features for the projection. So it is really important how you apply paint to a wall, and not so much what paint you use.
So let's have a look at how to apply a Houseman's projection paint or any other reflective projection paint onto a wall. First you prime it in grey, and then you apply the paint in short strokes crisscross all over the surface. Longer strokes just leave grooves and stripes, and you don't want that. So short strokes cover the whole surface and let it dry. After letting the paint dry overnight, you apply another layer of little dots and, well, sprinkles all over the surface. This is done in a method called sprinkling or sprenkeln. So you use less than 2 atmospheres, in this case a little more because the paint is so heavy, and sprinkle little dots all over the surface. So you have this random pattern of little glossy dots and, well, the lines of the paint rolled on. And all that combined after drying gives this really nice, well, surface.
Thanks to Ralph for showing us how to do it, and Manuel for holding the wires. And that's basically how it's done. So it's a lot of experience. Let's have a look how the admittedly far more time-intensive way of applying the paint like this affects the overall finish of the surface.
As you can see, we still have the little grooves and other features of a wooden structure underneath this very glossy paint that reflects pretty well if we need some really high contrast images. If we want to go more subtle, we have to use some other pigment. So subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to not miss when we try some different material on dark grey projection surfaces.